It's true that the Bible tells us to obey. I think I would begin by quoting John 14:21, a verse that I learned when I was in college. He who has my commandments and keeps them, he it is who loves me. And he who loves me shall be loved by my Father, and I will love him and will manifest myself to him. There we see very clearly some delineations in what Jesus is saying to us. Number one, before we can keep the commands, we have to have them. We have to know them, which presupposes that we're reading the Word and we're looking at all of God's propositional revelation from Genesis to Revelation, and we're looking to get that Word inside of our hearts. And so once we have it in our hearts, then the expectation there is that we would demonstrate our love to Christ and the Father by keeping that word. That's just another way of saying that we're obeying Him. And of course, our model is Jesus, who was obedient at every point in His life. That's what we mean by the fact that Jesus was perfect in His act of obedience. It means that He kept every single jot and tittle of the law. He never violated one aspect of the law. If He had violated one aspect, then that means He would have been disqualified from dying on Calvary's cross. He would have died for that sin, even if it were only one. But He was perfect in obedience. Where the confusion comes in discipleship is that people think, again, that I'm justified by faith, by grace through faith, and now I've got to work hard at obedience to become, in my behavior and speech and attitudes, motivations, that I've got to become more holy now, as if it's on our own. Obedience and grace are never put at odds with one another, but rather we work out our salvation with fear and trembling, then it's God who is at work in us. So I would say with Dallas Willard here that grace is opposed to earning, but grace is never opposed to effort. So we do work out our salvation, always knowing that even in that part, that it's God's grace that gives us the divine ability.